So you want to make your videos pop. You've come to the right place. 500 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute. How do you make videos that stand out in the ocean of content? That's what I'll be showing you how to do today. Let's hop in Premiere. Wabam. Wow, we're in Premiere now. So this is a rough cut, basically the semi-assembled version of a video where you have all the clips that you want, but the timing on it is not exactly right. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Hey guys, Brian here. And today we're taking a look at the top 5 slimes in Slime Rancher. At number 5, the pink slime, the most common slime in the game. That was a little long. That introduction was okay, but did you notice the long pauses? YouTube in general thrives on quick pacing. A fast way to increase the pacing of the video is to cut away all those dead sections where I'm not really talking. I am using cut at playhead and I'm using ripple trim left and right. Hotkeys will save your life. This is not a tutorial for hotkeys, but hotkeys will absolutely save your life. We're editing in 2x because I can. 2x editing will save your life as well. I am using J, K, and L here. Those are basically the shuttle controls. L is for forward, J is for reverse, K is for pause, and you can press those in multiples to literally make it go 2, 4, 8x faster. You get the idea. Number 6, the Glizzy Globler. And now that we're trimmed up, let's go ahead and take a listen. Hey guys, Brian here. And today we're taking a look at the top 5 slimes in Slime Rancher. At number 5, the pink slime, the most common slime in the game. That was much better with those long, awkward, terrible pauses that I left in there removed. It is much snappier and it's much easier to watch. And it's much closer to the typical YouTube style where basically one scene just goes right into the next one. Don't forget, you can apply these editing techniques to whatever editing program that you use. I think they're called NLEs. So the same techniques will work in Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, Sony Vegas if you're crazy. Though the hotkeys may be a little bit different, so just keep that in mind. Let's keep rolling. Ooh, I know I don't need to make sound effects there, but... And now, animated titles. And today we're taking a look at the top 5 slimes in Slime Rancher. Basically, they are titles, like they're words on screen that are animated. Titles can help present information, or they can be good for like different sections or something like that. Basically, anytime that you want like a little bit of movement on your text, titles are a great way to do it. Now, these particular titles are what's called a mogrt. Basically, it's just a type of template file that you can download from your favorite provider. So it can come from Envato, it can come from Motion Array, Mixkit if you're looking for something for free. But once you find a style that you like, go ahead and download it. Once you have it downloaded, you're gonna wanna actually add it to Premiere. So you'll go ahead and click on this Essential Graphics panel here. And if your layout doesn't look like mine, by the way, you can go ahead and go up to Window, Workspaces, and reset to saved layout if it doesn't look exactly like you want. With that out of the way, go ahead and go to Browse here. And I've already got this added in here, but I'll show you how to add a mogrt anyways. You can click this little bottom right thing here that says Install. Now this is specifically for mogurts. There are Premiere templates for titles that works a little bit differently. We're not gonna get into that today. But anyways, choose the folder where your actual mogurt has been unzipped to. They usually come as a zip file. Click into the actual mogurt. On the font section, you do want to make sure that whatever font is actually in that folder, that you do have that font installed, because most titles will use a specific font. Sometimes they'll let you choose one, but they might use a specific font, so it'd be good to actually install that font first. Anyways, go ahead and double click into the mogrt file, and you'll click open here. I've already installed this one, so I'm not going to click open, but pretend that you clicked open. And then you can actually search it up here. Title will bring up all the titles, and Premiere does have a few titles by default, by the way. So you don't have to go out and search for any unless you just want like a specific style. I happen to like these gradient and glow brush titles. And then you just click and drag onto the actual timeline on a separate layer, and you're good to go. But as you can see, it's an animated title. Now let's go ahead and fix this. So when you actually click on the Essential Graphics panel here, you're gonna get a couple different options depending on the actual mogrt, but usually you'll get something like text controls, global controls for like positioning and stuff, and then color controls if you wanna change the colors. These options aren't always available and it depends on the mogrt. But let's say that you wanna go through the different styles that are actually in this mogrt. Say you like title 10 for some reason. Then we can go to global controls here, change the position. Say I want it like more towards the middle of the screen here. And then under text controls, we can actually change what it says. We don't want this to say text 1, that's silly. So we'll go ahead and change this text into top 5 slimes because that's the subject of our actual video. And then text 2, we'll change it into slime rancher because that's just the subtext. And then we'll let that title play through. And that's pretty good. You will notice that it's slowing down a little bit because I haven't actually rendered out this title. Don't worry, I will later. And we're running it at full playback. If you have trouble running it at full playback, you can always drop it to like half or even a quarter if you're on like an older machine or something like that. But that's essentially titles. All right, now next up is lower thirds. Lower thirds are similar to titles, except that they usually appear at the actual lower portion of the screen. Let me show you. So in a similar fashion, you can add these as mogrts as well. What can I say? I like mogrts. So using that same method, you can go ahead and click on the bottom right, go to where you have actually downloaded the asset to. And let's say for some reason that it was this mogrt that we're adding, you can go ahead and click open again. That'll bring up what we're looking for here. Same thing. You can also click and drag this onto that second layer. I like to use the second layer for effects over video usually. And then I am gonna change the timing on this because it's overhanging by a fair bit. So maybe we'll change it to like, I don't know, like 4.15 seconds maybe? Oh, and it fits perfectly like a glove. And there you go. Now you can actually see, like if you actually if you scrub through here, you can actually see the bottom third on your screen. Pretty handy. Now back in the Essential Graphics panel, you can see that this mogrt doesn't have quite as many options, but that's okay. We're just using that for literally the name of the slime here. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in here. Pink slime. If I could spell today. You know, guys, it has just been one of those days. It's like almost 9 p.m. and it's after my first job. So, you know, we're just getting through it today. But anyways, on the subtext, sorry about that. We're on to number 5 because it is number 5. And you'll see as you actually click out of this, like it's updating as we go along, like as you actually click out of these boxes. So if you're not seeing it actually change, click out of the box and then you'll actually see it update on your screen in the viewer. Then we can go back to the beginning of our clip and we can see how it actually looks on screen. And that's pretty much it for a lower third. You see it kind of pop in and slide out there. That's nice, it's classy. But hey, you know what else is classy? Liking and subscribing. Helps the channel out a ton. And hey, it turns that frown upside down. Isn't that such a good toy? Now, transitions. Transitions are an important part of a video when you're moving from one section to another. And there's not a super clear way of how a character or an item got from one spot to another. Now, how often to actually use transitions is up to your style, but as I like to say, less is more. Now, technically in this video, we're in the same location, but I'll still show you a transition just so that you have an example. For this example, I will go ahead and show you one of the actual default transitions because hey, you don't have to download anything because it's already in Premiere. Now back in Premiere, in your effects panel, you can go ahead and type in whip because that's one of my favorite actual default transitions. It's pretty okay. You can go ahead and click and drag the whip in between these first two clips here, and you can already see that it's doing its thing. And then if we actually play back the portion, we can see the transition in effect. Simple as that. Now there are a ton, and I do mean a ton, of transitions that actually come with Premiere itself. But the ones that I usually use are dip to white and dip to black. Those are the two main ones, and obviously crossfade, which is your default, by the way. Let's say that we wanted to replace this first one here, right? Let's say that we do want it to be a crossfade. You can actually choose the two clips that you want the transition in between and hit Control+D. And then we'll delete that first one. Don't worry about that one. But now we have a cross dissolve in between those first two clips. And it's a very subtle transition, but if you need just kind of a soft transition in between like two similar sections, that's a great time to use it. And honestly, being the default transition, when you just hit Control D, you can make a lot of transitions really, really quick. Now, if you do need to change the options, like the actual, like how long it lasts, the duration, and all that kind of stuff, you can click on the actual transition itself. Go ahead and scroll in so I can show you. Click on the transition, and you'll see you can change the duration, the alignment, like where it actually ends up. And if you want to see the sources, you can. I'm not going to bother with that one here, but you won't have a ton of options on these like default transitions, the one that come with Premiere. But if you do download different ones, they may have different options. Effect presets or EPSs are also available on the same stock websites, and you can go ahead and add them into Premiere using this method. Go ahead and click into the effects panel here. And then it's actually a little caret on the top right. It took me too long to figure that out. And then you can click import presets. And let's say you wanted to add some kind of pulse effect for some reason. Then you can go ahead and click into the folder that has the preset. Click the preset and click open. I already have this one, so I'm not going to click open, but you would click open. And then your preset will be in here, and same thing. You can search it up and you'll be able to find it. Now, I love these motion array ones. These are just super good. I use them all the time. But let's say that I wanted to add this one. You can click and drag right over the old transition actually, and it'll use the same timing on it, which is really nice. You can see that this one actually does have more options. So let's say that I did want it to move left to right with a little bit of motion blur, and I wanted it to be a little bit quicker. And then same thing, we can let that play through. And there's your transition. We're looking very green today, by the way. I didn't really plan on that. It just sort of happened. All right, so I did render this out just so that we can get some nice smooth playback as I show you guys. Now that I have added all the stuff, and I've added all the things on top of it with the maybe unneeded transitions and some sound transitions, just some default sound transitions, so it's a little bit smoother in between the clips. Let's go ahead and take a look now. Ba-bam! And let's take a listen. Hey guys, Brian here, and today we're taking a look at the top 5 slimes in Slime Rancher. At number 5, the pink slime, the most common slime in the game. Tightening your timing, animated titles, and lower thirds. Much better the second time around, right? These small changes can be time consuming, especially over the course of like a whole video, but they add up to a quality level that can easily set you apart from the ocean of bone stock videos that are on YouTube. Many of the assets seen here and many of the assets that I use are from premium subscription-based websites, but I've had good luck with plenty of free assets. Rocket Stock, Envato, Motion Array, a bunch of other places actually have either free asset sections. You get on their newsletter, then they'll email you free assets. How crazy is that? So go out there and get yourself something nice. If you found this video useful, gently tap that like button. No more destroying. Why are we destroying the like button? You won't be able to use it on the next video. If you have questions about videos, making videos, or video editing, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. Check out these videos, for more stuff about editing and misguided adventures.